Okay, so when it comes to watching Thomas and Friends, there were many options back in the day. TV, DVD, and VHS. As a kid, I chose the best option, which was DVDs. I had a ton of Thomas and Friends DVDs growing up. In fact, I still have them all, plus a bunch more I got as a teenager. I replayed the 20 or so I had over and over. It was such a blast, and it made my childhood amazing. Some years later, I found out that there was a fourth option, the internet.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set, you're going surfing on the internet.
People were posting full Thomas episodes on YouTube. That discovery brought me a few revelations. The first one was that I had been watching the American dub of a British show. Second was YouTube poop, which maybe I shouldn't have been watching as a kid, but come on. Tender moments of the Tender Engines, Thomas the Spank Train, they were gold. But the third revelation was the one that confused me the most. There were 2 differently edited versions for every episode from seasons 1 to 3. And I only found out because they used an outtake in the finished product of an episode I was watching. So if you don't know the story, basically at some point around 2003, when Hit Entertainment bought Thomas and Friends, they completely re-edited and restored the first 3 seasons of the show so that they wouldn't look too different from the other episodes from season 4 onward. Which sounds like a pretty good idea on paper, but in execution, hell no. They did a terrible job. There are so many things that they could have done better. Here is why the restored Thomas and Friends episodes suck. Okay, I'm gonna start with a few pros because, I don't want this video to be completely negative. Okay, first, even though it's the same resolution as the original episode masters, the restored versions just look visually better. Also, every shot was color corrected. And that's all the pros. Okay, I have a long list of cons, so let's get straight into it. Con number 1. Everything has been zoomed out slightly. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but trust me, it is. Because everything is zoomed out, sometimes, when you're watching an episode, you'll just randomly see obvious studio equipment. Like, you'll see a tripod in the Deputation, or whatever that is in No Joke for James. And guess what? Con number 2 is the opposite problem. Some shots are too zoomed in, or cropped really weird. The best example is in The Flying Kipper. This is the original master, and this is the restored version. Why is the top of the frame cut off so weirdly? Did the film reels get damaged or something? Another example, Thomas, Percy, and the Coal. What happened here? Like, seriously. Oh, speaking of film possibly being damaged, con number 3. Some shots are either completely missing or different. In Percy's Promise, the shot of Percy puffing towards the station, gone. In Buzz Buzz, the shot of these passengers, gone. In Percy and the Signal, the shot of Percy, gone. You get the idea. And then for the shots that are different, there's Birdie with the wrong face and Thomas gets bumped. There's Thomas with the wrong face and Thomas, Percy, and the Dragon. And of course, the most infamous one, and also the way I found out about the restored versions in the first place, Henry randomly lunging forward in Coal, then teleporting back in the next shot. There's also this really funny one in No Joke for James where he's pushing an extra van that wasn't in the original master, and it's also derailed. Now, because some of these shots are completely different, that gives us con number 4, audio syncing issues. In Thomas and the truck's bumping does not match the audio. Neither does James bumping this truck in Trust Thomas, and Toby puffing away in Ghost Train. It's really annoying. Con number 5, some transitions are just gone. Whistles and Sneezes is a good example of... Whistles and Sneezes is a good example of this. Almost every fade transition in the original master is gone in the restored version. And there's no reason why. Like, did they just forget? Like, I don't know. Con number 6. Sometimes the color correction is just whack. In Ghost Train, the scene where Percy is telling his ghost stories takes place in the middle of the day. But in the restored version, it looks like this. Why did they color correct it to look like nighttime? And finally, con number 7, they forgot to fix a glaring continuity error in Break Van. Okay, for some reason during the filming of the episode, Douglas had his nameplate in a scene, even though he wasn't supposed to have it yet. In the original master, they fixed it in editing by using a black bar and some clever cropping. The restored version didn't do any of that. There are actually a lot of differences that I didn't mention because there are way too many of them, so I would suggest watching this video by Nick Starwin if you want to see all of them. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.